Derrick Jackson, candidate for Georgia governor on the Democratic side, as well as current state representative. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Faith.
I want to pull up and ask you about recent polling, March 5th, a Next Star Emerson College poll. It has you polling at 2.6%. Former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms is at 34.8%, Jeff Duncan 12.8%, but the undecided voter still 38.5%. If someone looks at this polling right now, they might ask, why is Derrick Jackson still in this race? What would you tell them?
So just this morning, several of my voters are saying, Derrick, we're not concerned about the voting, polling, or how much money you raise. We're more concerned about the programs and policies you're advocating and the legislation that you're introducing. The average voter, Faith, are not interested in polling and how much money we raise. In fact, they even went beyond that and said, look at Donald Trump. He polled, and won his race and raised all this money, but he's not helping the people. This is about the people, not about the person.
Can I ask you, because those polling numbers can be an indicator of how people are feeling right now. You have some candidates who have a lot of national name recognition, like former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, like a Jeff Duncan, who could raise more money and could have a little bit more star power going into this race. What sets you apart from these candidates that would have more name recognition statewide?
Well, citizens are starting to tune in, obviously. And all the gubernatorial forums that I've been participating in, I'm in the top 2. They're clearly telling me that I'm the only elected official right now running in this gubernatorial race on the Democratic side. What sets me apart, my 22 years in the United States Navy. That is a cross-section attraction. Republicans, independents, and Democrats love the fact that I served this country for 22 years. They also love the fact that I'm the only candidate who's qualified to be the commander-in-chief. They also love the fact that I went into corporate America for 10 years and did exceptionally well working at GE. But the main thing that they enjoy the most, that I'm a leader and a fighter, and they seeing me fight like never before. Just last week, I fought against this bill that's trying to criminalize homelessness, the unsheltered. This week, I'm going to be fighting against a bill that want to criminalize librarians. That's what the people enjoy the most. That's when you look at social media, the emails that I'm receiving and text messaging that I receive, they love the fact that I'm going to show up each and every day. They're not asking me about polling, 2.6 here, 4 point there. They're saying Derrick is the only candidate right now out of the 6 or 7 of us, I lose count, is talking about the beloved community, talking about health care, talking about affordability, talking about showing up for workers. I introduced a bill, the strongest pro-labor bill ever in the history of Georgia, House Bill 1493. It's going to eradicate the at-will and the right-to-work clauses that intimidates especially black men and black women. Last year, and the reason I've been working on this bill for a year, because last year we witnessed 400,000 black women losing their job, 275,000 black men losing their job. And so I started this bill with the voice of the community and introduced it this legislative session to say no more just firing people just because. We need a governor right now more than ever before that demonstrate that they can fight and take the fight to the Republican side. You have a billionaire, the first time we ever had a billionaire in a gubernatorial race. Just last week, Faith, he said, I would deport you or depart you. That's incredulous to me. One that served this country. We have a commander-in-chief at the federal level that sent our brave men and women over to a war that's unconstitutional. And so I'm not just fighting against Trump, I'm fighting against Governor Kemp. I'm fighting to show up every day to let the people of Georgia know it's about we the people and not we the person.
And respectfully, Mr. Jackson, all Democrats in this race are doing the same. They're fighting for affordability, they're fighting for health care, they are fighting against Trump. But what specifically sets you apart?
Yeah, so they're talking about programs. I'm introducing legislation. And so they're speaking hypothetical. I'm speaking about right now. That's what sets me apart, in all due respect. And so a lot of them quit. And we know they quit because we had to do a special election. Ended up spending tens of thousands of dollars more when they went on a special election. What sets me apart? Let me give you a clear example. Me against Jason Estevez. He signed on to the Trump bill. He said yes to Senate Bill 244, where Trump is now going to get $21 to $22 million from the Fulton County residents, because we're now going to hold the Fulton County residents, an area in which he represented, to pay for Trump's legal fees. He signed yes. I voted no against that bill. He signed yes to Senate Bill 82, a bill that's going to take away from our public education funding, where they already have a very scarce level of dollars already. He signed yes to that bill. I signed no. Or what sets me apart from Jeff Duncan, a person that I fought when he was in the House with me, and a person that I fought against when he was a lieutenant governor. He signed yes that a bill that takes away from the woman anatomy, remove your agency. He signed yes to that bill. He helped create where we have 82 counties you cannot find an OBGYN. That bill helped create that mess, where those who want to make sure that women stay alive during pregnancy, he signed yes to that bill. I signed no. And so when you start to look at the grassroots, what sets me apart against Jeff Duncan? His sorry cannot bring those 169 women back. His sorry cannot bring them 772 children back that died right here in Georgia. I'm fighting for families. What sets me apart, again, I like Keisha Lance Bottoms, but when she had the opportunity to really demonstrate her fight in 2020, she ended up asking this governor to bring in nearly 500 to 1,000 National Guard. That was the wrong move. You don't bring in a National Guard when you're the mayor of Atlanta, where you have 1,000 APD officers. And so that's what sets me apart. None of this macro stuff. Let's look at our voting records. Let's not hide behind how much money you can raise or the polling. Let's look at, when you were in office, what's your voting record? When you were in office, what were you doing and what were you championing? And so that's what really sets me apart. My 10 years up here, my voting record is very clear. It has always been about the least of these. It has always been about women's health. That's the reason why I came up here to begin with. I lost my first wife. Because I watched a healthcare system that did not show up for a black woman, that had the greatest insurance. And that's what motivated me to take a sabbatical from GE in 2014, and I ran for office in 2016. So I know what I speak about when I'm talking about healthcare, affordability, and stand up for workers. The other candidates are not speaking in the same compassionate way. They don't introduce bills. They're just talking about programs and policies from a hypothetical. I'm up here right now fighting this fight.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Can I ask you about your campaign strategy? You're obviously very well known in your district, as you've held the seat for 10 years. What other areas of the state are you focusing on right now when it comes to campaign outreach?
Yeah, I'm really been focusing on outside of 285 in the rural parts of Georgia. And the reason being because my roots go back to 1812 in Burke County. My great-great-grandfather was a slave. He was bought from Charleston, South Carolina into Burke County. And my grandfather was born and raised in Burke County. My mother was born and raised in Burke County. And so my values represents rural Georgia. And so in the last 9 months, we've been about 6,000 miles traveling what we refer to as the Black Belt, from Albany, Georgia, where my wife is from, all the way up to Waycross, Burke County, Savannah, Muskogee, and Columbus, those areas. We've been focusing 67, close to 70% of our time outside of 285.
And then my final question for you, in 30 seconds, the floor is yours, your message to voters.
Yeah, so I'm the only candidate, now that you're paying attention to this gubernatorial race, that's talking about the issues that negatively impacts our families across Georgia, urban, suburban, and rural. I'm the only candidate that's been in this fight, fighting for you all. And I'm gonna continue this fight. That's the reason why I did not quit. That's the reason why I did not resign. I'm the only candidate that fulfilled the Georgia Constitution when it comes to governor, commander-in-chief, and the CEO. No other candidate can meet my record when it comes to Commander-in-Chief and the CEO.
All right, well, we will see. May 19th is coming up quick.
May 19th is right around the corner, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Faith, with what you do.
Thank you. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Haha, I see what you did there. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.